Wow, I didn't think I was gonna like it that much. Downfall to it is that it does have avocado on it. Oh my god, I can't speak. Hey GlamFam, welcome to today's video. We're testing out the brand new Natasha Denona Pastel Palette. We are creating two different looks with this spring summer palette. I will give you my thoughts at the end of the video. I obviously have the green look on. We are also creating a blue look, so we're gonna have some fun today. We are also trying out the new LYS Cream Blush shade. So 3 new shades popped out for just in time for the sales. So I wanted to try it out, see if the formula is good, just in case you guys had your eye out on that. If you're new here, I'm Christy. I'd love for you to hit that subscribe button and click that post notification bell. Join our beautiful Glam Fam. We're here every Sunday at 8 a.m. Pacific time, and we'd love for you to become part of our Glam Fam community. And please give this video a huge thumbs up when you hit the like button and when you comment below. It really does help my videos out. Plus, I love hearing from you guys. You can shop my Glamorous Life Collections merch and follow me at Christy Allure on Instagram, on TikTok, Christy Allure, and on my blog, ChristyAllure.com. And without further ado, let's get started. Let's jump right into it. I'm excited for you guys to see how this Natasha Denona Pastel Palette performs on my mature eyes. I was hesitant on picking up this palette, you guys. I know Susan in the Bay Area was really excited, and we both share the passion of green shadows, so we thought for sure it was going to be some type of green eyeshadow palette, and there are some greens in here. But when I first looked at that palette, it didn't jump out at me because there was a little too many pinks in there. And to be honest with you guys, pastels are just not my thing. I love greens and blues, but I like depth in my shadows, and pastels over the years have just been very patchy and very difficult to work with. And it's not just eyeshadow, it goes for nail polish too. If you guys get your nails done, you know pastel colors are beautiful, but if you try to just do 1 or 2 coats, it's blotchy. You typically have to put like a white, what they say is to put a white nail polish underneath your nails and then put the pastel color on top of it, and it will, you know, be able to show its true color. Same thing goes for these eyeshadows. So we are going to work with the Juvia's Place eyeshadow base because to me it's the thickest. It grips onto this the best when it comes to pastel shades especially. So if anyone could do pastel shades, it's gonna be Natasha Denona, Pat McGrath, or Viseart. Viseart so far has been the only brand that I feel like pastels are just beautiful. And you guys know this is my holy grail palette. I have 2 of these now. It's just the most insane. And there's some pastel shades in here, and you'll see when I create the blue eyeshadow look that you already saw in my previous videos, I had to dip into that because it just wasn't picking up. So if anyone could do it, it would have been Natasha Denona or Pat McGrath, but I still think Viseart, they just are magical. And I even feel like ColourPop, if you try to do their pastel shades, they're not that great, the mattes and stuff like that. So we'll talk about it more as I apply these shadows, but I was under impressed with a lot of the shades in here, but I have to tell you guys this. So when I looked at the stock photos, I was like, not really into it. And then when I received it in the mail, I thought, you know what? There's enough greens and blues and almost like purplish colors, and I do like purples as well. I thought, I think I can make this palette work. And I really was dying because I love turquoise colors. I love turquoise, greens, and blues, woo, more than anything. I know Lise, and I know there's a few of you out there, Susan, that love green shadows as much as I do. So I was like, you know what? I want to do this for my Glam Fam. I think in person it is insanely beautiful. One thing I have to say, and I'm just being 100% honest with you guys, I really wish she would have almost done like, not a mini, but like maybe like that size and broke it up and did like a green one, a blue one, the purple and pink ones. maybe the lighter ones. And then we would be able to determine, we don't have to pay the $65. We can say $25, you know, $30, whatever the case is. And I get all the colors that I know I'll use more if I travel. Yes, I can pull these out of this palette and put it into Z palettes. That's not a problem. But there are some colors in here I just didn't want. So I know I'll be able to draw looks out of this palette. So I'm happy about that. I'll show you all the shades, and that's Indoor and Natural Light on my iPhone. Beautiful. They swatched beautifully, you guys. That is Tulle. That is a matte bubblegum pink, and that is one of her cream to powder formulas. Next shade is Illusion, and that is one of her duochromes, and that is a sheer pink peach is how she labels it. Mint Frost is the next shade. That is a sparkling metallic icy turquoise. And then we have Bora, which is a matte medium lilac, a cream to powder. I do feel like that one pulled a little bit more pigment. Then next to it is Dainty, which is absolutely gorgeous. That is a duochrome sparkling pink with golden champagne. The next row will go with Brisk, and Brisk is a matte pastel mint, and that is a creamy matte. And then the next one is Adrediac. I don't know. I don't even know if I pronounced that right. I probably totally butchered that. That is a duochrome bright turquoise and gold. After that is Starlet, and Starlet is a coral pink with a golden peach, and that is another duochrome. Next one is Bellini, and that one is actually really pretty. That's a pastel peach, and that is one of her creamy matte formulas. And then the last one in the second row is Bubble, and Bubble is a matte pastel cornflower, interesting description, and that is one of her cream to powder formulas. That is a very beautiful periwinkle blue. And then the last row, the first shade is Limoncello. That is a metallic icy pastel yellow, and that is her metallic formula. The next one is Duet, and Duet is a duochrome lilac teal, and the middle shade is Airy. We do play with that one. Very, very beautiful matte pastel sky blue, and that is a creamy matte, so just one of her powder matte formulas. And then Zest, that's a matte pastel lime, and that is one of her cream to powder formulas. And then the last one is Feather. Feather is a pastel lavender pink, and that is a creamy matte formula, like more of her powdered formulas. I wish there was more depth in this palette. You can still do pastels with depth in it. That's just me being particular and honest, and that's just my opinion. If you really want to draw out some of those like lime greens and stuff, like I said, go with, I don't have the white one, I'm actually going to be picking it up. And this is the Sephora Colorful Sticks. It does have a really, really good white one, and these will be 30% off starting Friday. Actually today I think is when I'm releasing this video. So these are two products that I highly recommend during the sale if you like to create a lot of eyeshadow looks. And this one in particular for concealer. So this is the Smashbox Photo Finish Hydrating Primer. And this is what's been making my concealer not crease, I think, because this is amazing and nobody ever talks about this. I only bought it because I think I got it, like, I think it came with like a package, you know, like I think it came with like one of these things, like in one of their sets for Smashbox. And you guys know I love the 24-hour primer. When I'm doing all my primers, like I put my Smashbox Photo Finish primer on, I'll put this on my lids as if I'm priming my eyes like I do my face. Ever since I started doing that, my eyeshadows went on so incredibly smooth. Even putting a base over it just makes everything glide on. So I highly recommend this because it's really thin and it's almost like their primer where it's just smoothing. It's like thicker than their primer, but it's just so smoothing. It actually works really good in the fine lines too. So just an FYI, primers can be used for a multiple amount of things, but I did want to share that with you guys, and I thought those were really good tips to use. So let's start off with the Juvia's Place Eye Primer. Again, this is shade 1. I haven't found anything comparable to this at Sephora, but if you have any suggestions, leave it on the bottom. We always love hearing that. Right now, this is the Sephora 71 Pro Concealer Brush. Every makeup pro has this in their kit. I have been using this brush. I loved the old version for years. I always had this in my kit. It is so good, you guys. This is the most incredible brush. I liked the original versions better, and I still hold on to mine. Then I just like to take my sponge and just blend it all in. We're gonna start off with this shade right here. That is Brisk. That's one of her creamy matte formulas. We're gonna use this Anastasia A18 brush. I need it to be flat and dense for this color to pack on. If you use anything fluffy, that's not gonna pack on the way I want it to. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna lay this down because we're gonna put the metallic over this so that it has something to adhere to. So that's why I'm doing that. So I'm gonna put this all over the lid. I'm using like patting motions so that the color doesn't skip. Do you see how that Juvia's Place really helped grab that pastel color? That is a very beautiful blue. And I do have a lot of powder underneath my eye, you guys. This is definitely a lot of fallout, so not one that if you don't use powder, I would do your eyes first. I'm being very meticulous because I don't want to get it all over my face. Okay, before we go any further, I am gonna take my Natasha Denona medium contour shade and I'm gonna start giving myself a little bit of a crease there, just like so that we don't go too far up. So I'm just gonna take it onto this Sigma E40 to really go into the nose contour and just builds that right there. We are gonna take that peachy shade next, and that is Bellini. So I'm gonna take it onto this Sonia G Crease 2 brush. It's clean, very pretty, peachy color. And we're just gonna take that one up in here. Actually, we're gonna go into this next shade. That's actually a duochrome bright turquoise and gold. So I am actually gonna take my Sonia G Mini Booster and I'm going to dip into that green duochrome. And we're gonna see, I'm not sure, but we're gonna see if this can pull a little bit of depth in the outer corner. Okay, well maybe not. Maybe that's too metallic-y. That's okay, we'll just leave that there. It's fine. It'll still work. So let's actually take this BK Beauty 203 brush. I wish this shade was a metallic. Do you see how like it's not really like, you know, it's more of a topper shade? I want to show you guys something because I know I talked about this in, I think it was my December or November faves video last year. Oh, you guys, this melt, if you can get your hands on this during the sale and you're a green lover, this is the most incredible palette because you get your greens that you can use, like kind of your greenish browns, your army greens that you can use through the fall and winter, even in the summer. And then you've got these greens that will like, whoosh. I just want to show you guys the difference, okay? So this is a very similar color. This is called Sweet Tooth, I think. Look at this. I mean, insane. This is the Natasha Denona one. Pretty, but I have to like barely picking up. Like if I'm just buying this palette for this shade, I would be disappointed. And I would be like, oh no, I already have the melt one that I like even more. And I don't have to sit here and work at it for 20 minutes. Like it literally goes on and stays there. And it doesn't even matter what base I use. So, I mean, that's what I start thinking about, you guys. Like, I have to think, you know, I don't have millions of dollars or thousands of dollars just to be spending money on something that I don't feel like I'm gonna be using that much. Now I'm taking this shade right here, that first one we used. I'm gonna blend out the edges of that. So a lot of the looks that Natasha created for the campaign were so beautiful, but they weren't looks, that was the other thing, that were like achievable by the average person. I mean, she's Natasha Denona, a pro makeup artist. All right, so I was trying to think, how am I gonna create more depth from this palette? So I mixed those two together, the green and the blue, and that actually gave me, and the light blue too, that gave me more depth. That gave me almost like a dark green. And see how that's pretty? I don't know why, but all of those mixed together. And now I'm gonna mix this blue with that teal duochrome. I'm just mixing it together to create my own. I'm doing actually all 3 of those, and we're gonna create some depth out there. Oh, there we go. See? Look at that. Kind of giving that halo effect, and then we'll put the metallic right in the center. All right, now let's go in with the metallic, and that is Mint Frost. I do recommend you using your finger with this one or wetting your brush. Beautiful. That just topped off the look. Oh my gosh, that is so pretty. It's not as intense as the Melt one, but I think it's pretty because sometimes you don't want it that intense. Like, I really feel like this is one where you could just kind of pop on your lids for even like a more natural look, so. For something I did not think I was gonna like, I ended up liking it. I don't love it, but I like it. Makes sense? All right, okay, so I want it to be a little bit lighter in that center, but first I need a little bit more impact there. So I am actually gonna take that little tiny Morphe brush we were using, and I'm gonna wet this. I'm gonna go back into the metallic because I want it to be so detailed. I wanna make sure I use a very small flat brush. I'm underwhelmed by this metallic because I was so happy. This was like actually what sold me this entire, this shadow is what made me want this palette. I feel like it's taking me a while to build it, but it's building and it's beautiful. Again though, it's a pretty shade for more of a natural look. Of course I'm doing glam, so keep that in mind as well. Pastels are meant to be soft, so that's the point of this palette, was not to be glam. The point of this palette was to be soft. I'm just making it more glam because I'm that girl. Let's be honest. All right, taking my Sigma E25. Love this brush. I think that was the one I originally used. Going back to Bellini. Oh yeah, this is the brush I like much better. And that's pulling in some depth there as well. I actually really like this peach shade more than I thought I was going to. I don't think I used this as much the first time around. That's pretty. Okay, I have a lot of fallout right there, but that's okay. That's why we used powder. I'm gonna brush that away. Thank goodness there was translucent powder there. All right. Now, oh, I have quite a bit of fallout. Okay, now let's do, let's try to brighten this up a little bit more in the center. So there's 2 options we can do. We can take this iridescent, beautiful gold, or we can even try the limoncello. I think I said that right. We're gonna try both, and I wanna see which one I like more. So I'm gonna use the first iridescent one, Illusion, and I'm just gonna pop that right into the center. Beautiful. That gives like a very unicorn type look. Now let's try on the other side, the lemon one, limoncello, and see what that does. Ooh, that's pretty too. That one's not pulling as much duochrome, but it's pretty. It looks good with the teal though. I kind of personally like almost like the yellow one, just because I want that more of a look like that today. So I'm gonna go back into the other side, going back into limoncello and just kind of putting that over that color. But either one was beautiful. Oh, actually both of those were very pretty. Let's mix them. I'm just mixing the Illusion and limoncello, and we're just gonna put that just so we can make sure we match up the sides. Gives us a chance to kind of play with those shades as well. Ooh, that's really pretty, you guys. See how that just kind of brightened up that middle section where it's not so harsh. Going back into the MAC 235 brush, that's what it was, 235. And I am gonna go back into Mint Frost and just go around the edges of that. Okay, now I'm going back into the Sigma brush. But now I'm gonna go into that first mint shade, the matte one. All right, you guys, let's head on to the lower lash line. So I was trying to debate what I wanted to do. If I wanted to just leave it empty, because I do think that would be pretty as like a more natural look, just to kind of clean it up and put lashes on. But because I want to try to take this to another level and kind of play around with it a little bit more, because I just, when I get into my groove, I just want to play. So I'm gonna take my LA Girl liner. I used this, I think, in the green eyeshadow look, and I think this is perfect for this look. And this is in Dragon. I think it's like $4. So I think I'm gonna try to put that. That looks really pretty with that. Ooh, that's beautiful. That's actually like the perfect color for it. All right, let me grab my small mirror because otherwise I'm gonna be bending down a lot. Ooh, yes. Ooh, that broke. This broke, you guys. It doesn't have that edge anymore. Oh gosh, of course. Oh, my life. All right, we're gonna use this Makeup Forever one. This is in Forest. Ha! This drives me crazy. It's like I find a drugstore thing and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is such a great dupe. And then that happens. All right, we'll soften it up. So we're gonna make this work. We're just gonna take this Morphe, like just a little blender brush. And what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna go into the duochrome because that's the only like tealish color. And we're just gonna kind of start shading. Oh, that's pretty. Kind of lightened it up a little bit. But that liner gave it depth so that I can do this. Ooh, that's pretty. Do you guys see how that metallic? Ooh, I like that. This is the name I can't pronounce. I'll put right there as I always do. All right, you guys, so I am going to pop on my lashes. I'm going to transition into the second day look using the blue shades, and then I'll come back at the end of the night, show you how this look turned out with my lashes on, wrap it up, give you my final thoughts, and I will see you guys in a little bit. All right, you guys, so this is a different day because I'm filming the Dior Backstage Concealer. I wanted to do another eyeshadow look just to kind of give you guys variety with this Natasha Denona Pastel Palette. I want to do the blue look because I did it the other day just to play around and it was absolutely beautiful. Because I'm using the shade all over the lid as a base, I am gonna pick it up with a flat brush. Any type of flat brush will work. This is just a cheap crown one. So as you can tell, I'm patting down because I didn't set that area. It's just kind of gripping to the base right now, thankfully. Now we're just gonna take this color, which is Bubble, I wanna say. And it's like that sky periwinkle type blue. It's beautiful. I'm gonna have to go in with more like this Sigma E42 type brush with this color because it is that cream to powder formula. You can tell it's wet, it's not as powdery. I was hoping this one would pop a little bit more. That was the only disappointing thing I thought about this cream to powder. They're hit or miss with me on the cream to powders. It's pretty though. It's really pretty. Once you get it on there, it's really beautiful. Alrighty, so the problem with this, not the problem, but with this palette, you'd have to add in like the pinks or the yellows with the blue. So I wish there was like a metallic blue in this palette. I thought that would have been really beautiful to add one more in there. Like the greens were perfect for that other look, but I just felt like that was kind of missing. So you can, I actually did it the other day, you can take this green and put it in the center, which I'll just do it just to show you guys, just so that the versatility with this. So that looks pretty. So you can do that. It actually looks really beautiful. And it kind of lightens up that little area. And I find that this metallic goes on better with your finger, as always with her metallics. They're not as, to me, as juicy. I don't know if that's the right word. I actually really like that with the blue. Kind of lightened up the blue a little bit. All right, let's see here. I'm gonna take this BK Beauty. As you can tell, I already played with it on this color 203. And I'm gonna go in with the light blue now. And the light blue is more powdery. It's more of her powder mattes. And I'm just gonna go above that blue just to start diffusing out the edges. All right, I am gonna go in with my tried and true palette, and this is what I mixed with it the other day. You guys know, the Vizzy Art one. I think Susan said she was gonna pick this one up in the sale 03 bridal palette. It's just my ultimate #1 palette ever made. Do you see how that just glided on like with so much ease? Oh my gosh, these are the most, and these are all satin shadows. Like that's what's insane about this bridal palette. Just insane, like no no problems whatsoever. It just brought in some depth and tied everything and kind of filled in the gaps to those pastel colors. So that's the only thing, is I just feel like some of these, you know, that I'm just not a big fan of that cream to powder blue, and that it's powdery, you know, it goes on nicely, but it is slightly powdery. I'm gonna take that a little bit though and go over the edges a little bit. So pretty. Oh my gosh, so pretty. All right, now we're gonna go in with Bellini. Ooh, that makes me want a peach Bellini. I'm gonna take Bellini, and we're gonna kind of use that as like a transition shade to go over that blue. Kind of going in reverse order. You can always start off with that one too. Ooh, ooh, ooh. All right, I am gonna take my bronzer. This is Nude Bronze Light. I'm gonna take that one, and I'm just going into Nude Bronze Light, and we're just gonna buff out those edges like that. See that? Ooh, so beautiful. I love using this bronzer for that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take, since there's no metallic, I'm gonna take my Valentino, and you guys know I loved the blue. The green one didn't work out for me, unfortunately, because I love green, but this is such a beautiful color. I forgot, this is like Sky Dust, I want to say. Now these you have to be super careful with. They are extremely messy if you're not careful with them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of take that and dot that on the back of my hand a little, just to kind of soften out, because they're kind of chunky. And then I'm going to put that like right there. And it just paired really beautiful with this palette. These definitely don't grab on to brushes. You have to use these with your finger. They will not grab. See how beautiful that is on the back of my hand? I used this in my end of the year video I did. There's nothing on this brush. I am just literally blending stuff out, just the edges. And then you can go back in to this palette, to the Natasha palette, and you can take that middle color, which is Mint Frost, and you can do like, go back and kind of repeat what we did earlier, where you just kind of, see how that just makes it even brighter? I actually really love that. So this is the type of look that I think would be beautiful just to do no, it would soften it out by not putting anything underneath and just putting lashes on. That will be really beautiful. Just taking that airy color and just kind of softening out the edges. Going back into that Sigma brush with the bronzer on it and just softening it out again. All right, I'm gonna pop on some lashes. Maybe I'll just do it on camera with you guys. I have been really, this is something to pick up during the sale. This, if you wear false lashes a lot, it makes my life so much easier using this. You just go really close. See how easy that just goes on when you do it that way? Now I absolutely love the way these are my Amy June 3D Eve Silk. You guys know they're like obsessed. You can use my code, get 15% off. So off camera, I just added my Kylie Cosmetics. This is like one of her nude liners. It has like a pink undertone, which is perfect for mature eyes to really brighten them up. And I know Melt Cosmetics has one I'm going to be picking up in the sale. I'll show it right there. I'm going to pick that one up definitely, because that is a comparison to this. I hate the way these Kylie ones sharpen. They're terrible, but the color is perfect, and it's hard for me to find that color. So I think that Melt one is going to be perfect for that. And you guys know these are in my Amazon store. These, I can't live without these little tweezer things. All right, so that you can just literally pop on some mascara. I always use my MAC one. I like the new Wayne Goss one as well. Not new, but new to me. I like the Wayne Goss one as well. I use them both. Probably the two I use the most. As far as like recommendations for mascara, I'm probably the last person to ask. It's just, yeah, I think when it's tried and true and you know it works and it's waterproof, it just, for me, just works out. So you can go for that look and leave it there, and this is how it looks. It'll give it more of a softer look, which I like. So I am gonna take a little bit of that, probably that pink one right there, that light pink, so we can utilize a little bit more colors in this. I'm gonna take it onto that Scott Barnes number 62 brush, dip that in. I don't know if that's a cream to powder. I think that's just a powder one. And then I can't remember. And then go over the edges with that. And that will just kind of soften out those edges. This one we're gonna use as this little white one is called Illusion. We're gonna use that on the brow bone just to finish off the upper area. All right, so let's go in with the lower lash line and finish up this look. I am gonna go with that cream to powder and use that as a liner. Smooth out those edges. See, that's really pretty. I just wish there was just something a little bit deeper just to give it a little bit more depth, but it's beautiful. It is really beautiful. So what I'm gonna do, just because it's just my preference, I'm gonna go in with my Viseart and take that darker blue and just take that BK Beauty brush again and just kind of deepen out that lower lash line area just to give it a little bit of dimension there. Yeah, see, I just needed that extra dimension. That's what was bothering me. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed that second blue eyeshadow look. I have to tell you, to me, makeup is therapeutic. It's supposed to be like, typically when I do my eyeshadow and my makeup, I like get in a zone. I turn on my Shania Twain. By the way, if you don't know this, little fun fact about me, I am a huge country music fan. I have been since I was an infant. I just love country music. I love listening to it when I'm doing my makeup, and I love just getting lost in the zone and forgetting about all of life's problems. This was not therapeutic for me. This was frustrating for me. So when I got off camera, I still had to finish like the inner corner. Things started going awry. I just couldn't get anything to work out. It started patching up. And that's just not normal for me. I typically have a pretty smooth run with shadows. I have fun with it at least. I didn't have fun with this. I had a lot of frustration, and I don't want to spend $65 to feel frustrated. And then when you don't do the artistic portion of this, you know, of the looks you can create with this palette, I don't know, like you'd have to go very soft with it. And I think I went too smoky-eyed with it, and that's where I went wrong. So that's my fault. I should have done something a lot softer, but hello, my name is Christy and I'm addicted to glam, okay? You know, like I can go to meetings for this. So I don't wanna like ridicule the palette and say, oh my gosh, I hate it, it's not good, because it is a good palette. It's just maybe not the palette for me. And I think that's what it ends up being, okay? Or maybe it's just that palette maybe I reach for, just for a very soft look. But I even felt with these pastel mattes, like they were just dusty, and I don't know. It's messy too, by the way, and it was all over my face. That was another nightmare I had to do. I had to do a lot of cleaning up, and I don't know. It didn't make me happy, and I want to feel happy, you guys. Like, I just want to feel happy. Who doesn't want to feel happy? So you guys make me happy. So anyway, that's where I'm at with that. As far as rankings go, it's really hard because it's all relative, right? But if I had to rank this based off my personal preferences, I'd give it a 3 out of 5. That's where I'm at with it. So let's try out this LYS Cream Blush. These are very affordable, you guys, and I've been a fan. I love the packaging on this one. It feels newer than the other packaging I have. I don't know what it is. It's beautiful. I'll show you the up close shots right there. This is in shade Humble. So pretty. It's like a gorgeous pink. I'll put the price right there. I don't want to get too much into the details so I can speed up this video. But what I'm going to do is I've never tried this formula, so very pigmented though. This is my typical brush I love. This is my Smashbox blurring foundation brush. Ooh, that's beautiful. You just can't go wrong. It's mistake proof. This by far beat out the Huda Beauty and the Laura Mercier in my opinion. I like this one way better. And this is a beautiful, youthful color, especially for us mature skin ladies. The pink is giving us more pop. It's very buildable, but you can also wear this very natural. I like this one better than the Laura Mercier one too. In my opinion, I just feel like for my preferences, like this one just works out better. So 100% of me would definitely recommend this blush. I can't believe it, but this is the highlight of this entire video. We still have a video on Sunday to wrap all of my Sephora sale recommendations. I know it already started for us Rouge members, but remember it goes on until April 11th, and everyone can purchase Sephora collection items for 30% off from now until the 11th. So, and again, there's no code needed for that. And please give this video a huge thumbs up when you hit the like button and when you comment below. It really does help my videos out. And if you're new here, before you go, please remember to hit that subscribe button and click that post notification bell. Join our beautiful Glam Fam. We're here every Sunday at 8 a.m. Pacific time, and we love for you to become part of our beautiful, glamorous life community. And follow me at Christy Allure on Instagram, on TikTok, Christy Allure, and on my blog, ChristyAllure.com, and my merch, Glamorous Life Collections. And I will see you guys on Sunday. Bye!
Oh